On December 20, 1968, a young couple went on their first date in a car. They wanted privacy, so they turned the car toward Herman Lake in California. In the car were 16-year-old girl Betty Lou Jensen and 17-year-old boy David Faraday. Both were unaware that a stranger was following them. As they stopped near Lake Herman, the stranger's car arrived behind them, and the man inside ordered David and Betty to get out of the car. When they refused, the man fired a shot at the rear wheel of their car to scare them. Terrified, David and Betty immediately got out of the car and ran, and the man shot them both. David was shot in the head, and Betty was shot 5 times in the back. After the shooting, the man immediately fled the scene. This shocking incident marked the beginning of a notorious serial killer's surge. Yes, we're talking about the Zodiac Killer. Welcome once again to Discover TV's videos. Dear viewers, the Zodiac Killer is one of the most terrifying serial killers of the 20th century. Between the 1960s and 1970s, he terrified the entire San Francisco area with his horrifying attacks. He would send letters to newspapers and police, boasting about his murders and sending puzzles to solve them. After committing his first 2 murders, he remained silent for 6 months, but then reappeared with another murder case. On July 4, 1969, it was Independence Day in the US. 18-year-old Darlene Ferrin and 16-year-old Mageau had gone to buy fireworks. They noticed a car following them. To shake off the pursuit, they turned into the Blue Rock Springs Park parking lot, but the stranger's car followed them there as well. First, the stranger parked his car next to theirs, then reversed and drove away after a few seconds. This made Darlene and Michael relax, but their relief lasted only a few moments. The stranger returned, blocked their car, and parked behind them. He got out with a powerful flashlight and shone it in their faces. At first, they thought it might be a police officer, but then the man opened fire on them and quickly fled in his car. Darlene died at the scene, but Michael survived, though he was injured. Shortly after, 3 children nearby called the police. Michael had seen the killer's face, which helped the police later create a sketch of the killer. The most surprising part of this event was that later that night, at 12:04 a.m., the Vallejo Police Department received a call from a stranger who was calling from a phone booth. Before saying anything, the caller hung up. This was the first phone call to the police from the Zodiac Killer. About a month later, on August 1, 1969, the Zodiac Killer sent letters to 3 different newspapers. In these letters, he took responsibility for the murders at Lake Herman and Blue Rock Springs Park on Independence Day. To prove his claim, he included details that only the police knew, such as which bullet was fired, how many shots were fired, and what clothes the victims were wearing. Along with the letter, the Zodiac Killer included an encoded message and demanded that it be published the next day in the newspapers, threatening more murders if it wasn't. The encrypted cipher was sent to intelligence agencies for decoding, but it couldn't be cracked at that time. The next day, after the cipher was published in the newspaper, a couple from San Francisco cracked it on the same day. It read, "I enjoy it so much. It is more fun than killing wild game in the forest, but man is the most dangerous of all." The cipher also stated that the killer believed in life after death, and that those he was killing would become his slaves in the afterlife. After the letters to the newspapers, there was silence for 2 months, but the Zodiac Killer reappeared with a new case. On September 27, 1969, a college couple, Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard, were having a picnic near Lake Berryessa. They noticed a man approaching them, wearing a black hood with the Zodiac symbol on it. As he approached, the Zodiac pulled out a gun and demanded money and car keys. Brian had only 75 cents, which he handed over along with the car keys. The killer returned the car keys to Brian and tied both their hands with rope under the thread of his gun. He then pulled out a knife and stabbed both of them multiple times, thinking they were dead. Afterward, he went back to the car, wrote a message on it, and fled the scene. The message included the name of the place, date, time, and weapon used. A fisherman nearby found the couple in a wounded state, and although Cecilia died from her injuries, Brian survived. He provided the police with detailed information about the event. As with his previous murders, the Zodiac called the police that night at 7:40 p.m. and shared all the details of the murder. The police began to see a pattern in the Zodiac's actions. He targeted young couples. His attacks often happened on weekends or near holidays, and he usually attacked at night or in the evening when the light was dim. His killings often took place in cars, and many were near well-known dating spots. These patterns suggested that the Zodiac might be disillusioned with love or had a special hatred for women. Despite the clues, the police couldn't determine the Zodiac's next target. Just 2 weeks after the last murder, on October 11, 1969, the Zodiac stopped a cab driven by Paul Stein at 9:30 p.m., directing him to go to Maple Street in the Presidio Heights area. When they arrived, the Zodiac waited for the car to stop, then shot Paul at point-blank range. He then got out, sat in the passenger seat, and took a piece of Paul's shirt as a souvenir. 2 children saw the whole scene from a second-floor building and immediately alerted the police. The Zodiac was spotted walking in a misty area, and although the police stopped to question him, they did not suspect him due to a mix-up in the description. Later, fingerprints were found in Paul's car, which were linked to the Zodiac. The next day, the Zodiac sent a letter to the newspapers, describing the murder and sending a piece of Paul's shirt as proof. After several months of silence, the Zodiac sent 2 more letters to the newspapers, one of which contained a cipher that he wanted to be published again. This cipher was much more complex and took 50 years to decode. In 2020, 3 codebreakers used computer software to crack it. The cipher revealed no new information about the Zodiac's identity but did contain a clue about a phone call made to a TV talk show, claiming that the caller was not the Zodiac. The final clue that the Zodiac sent to the police was a threat about a bomb he had supposedly built in his basement, but no bomb was ever found. After this, he stopped sending letters. On March 22, 1970, the Zodiac attempted to kidnap a woman named Kathleen Johns but failed when she managed to escape. The police eventually got a sketch of the Zodiac from her, but by then, the killer had become elusive. Over the next 4 years, the Zodiac continued to send letters in ciphers, some containing threats about a bomb or attacks on school buses, but no further murders occurred. His last letter, sent on January 30, 1974, claimed to have committed 37 murders, though police believe the actual number was closer to 5. Despite numerous investigations and theories about the Zodiac's identity, including suspects like Arthur Lee Allen and Richard Gajkowski, no conclusive evidence was found to link anyone definitively to the killer. The Zodiac remains one of America's most infamous unsolved mysteries. I hope you enjoy this video from Discover TV. Please like and share it, and thank you for your wonderful comments. See you in the next fascinating video.